He had the kind of career most people can only dream about. The charm, the success, the fame. Drew Scott, with his warm smile and easy confidence, became a household name around the world. But behind that polished image was a man quietly battling some of life's harshest trials. His journey has included devastating health scares, overwhelming debt, lawsuits, and a painful struggle with infertility. It's a story that shows a side of fame very few ever see. Today, we're uncovering the real story of Drew Scott, a man whose path to success was built not just on talent and charm, but on resilience through heartbreak. Drew Scott was born on April 28, 1978, in Vancouver, Canada, alongside his identical twin brother, Jonathan. From the start, their parents, Jim and Joanne Scott, created a home where both imagination and discipline thrived. Jim had worked as an actor and stuntman in Hollywood, inspiring creativity, while Joanne focused on education and structure. It was the perfect foundation for two ambitious boys. By the age of 8, the twins were already running their first little business, making nylon hangers and selling them door to door in their neighborhood. It taught them resilience and gave them their first taste of entrepreneurship. For Drew, however, the dream wasn't business. Tall, athletic, and determined, he imagined himself as a professional basketball player. For a while, that future looked bright, until injuries crushed those hopes. Heartbroken, he turned toward entertainment. With his father's Hollywood background, acting had always fascinated him. He landed small roles on shows like Smallville and Breaker High, and even worked as a body double for Tom Welling. But the work was inconsistent. While he pursued acting, he also studied at the University of Calgary, and he and Jonathan began buying rundown houses, fixing them up, and renting them to students. It wasn't glamorous, but it paid the bills. Still, acting was his dream, and chasing it would soon bring him to the brink of financial ruin. In the early 2000s, Drew moved to Vancouver, pouring everything into acting classes, headshots, and endless auditions. But the breakthrough role never came. Before long, he was buried in over $100,000 of debt. Meanwhile, Jonathan's attempt at becoming the next David Copperfield ended in disaster when a dishonest partner stole his custom trailer, props, and equipment. Jonathan filed for bankruptcy, calling it the worst financial mistake of his life. Two brothers who would one day be worth millions were broke, humiliated, and unsure of the future. But instead of giving up, they returned to what they knew, real estate. With Drew earning his realtor's license, they flipped homes again, this time with fierce determination. Bit by bit, project by project, they dug themselves out of debt. Real estate gave Drew something acting never had, stability and a renewed sense of purpose, and that foundation would soon launch them into global fame. By the late 2000s, networks were desperate for fresh reality programming. Drew pitched himself for a show called My Dream Home. Initially, he was supposed to have a female co-host, but he knew there was only one person who could make it work: Jonathan. With Drew handling the deals and Jonathan leading construction and design, the concept clicked. In 2011, HGTV took a chance on them and launched Property Brothers. The format was emotional and addictive. Families found fixer-uppers. Drew secured the purchase, and Jonathan transformed the space. Their sibling chemistry, banter, and teamwork made the show far more than a renovation series. It became about hope, family, and transformation. It exploded in popularity. Within just a few years, the show aired in more than 150 countries. Spin-offs like Brother vs. Brother, Property Brothers, Forever Home, and Celebrity Ayubana featuring stars like Brad Pitt and Melissa McCarthy once followed. By 2019, Drew and Jonathan had built an empire with their own production company, Scott Brothers Entertainment, and a thriving lifestyle brand. But behind the smiling TV personality, Drew was hiding something serious. By 2019, Drew seemed to have it all. But privately, he was battling a mysterious illness. It began with relentless fatigue that no amount of rest could fix. Soon his digestive system failed him, and even mild physical activity left him exhausted. Heat triggered violent reactions. Just walking outside on a warm day could send his body into collapse. Doctors ran endless tests, but found no clear answers. Some suspected autoimmune issues. Others thought chronic infections. Meanwhile, filming continued. Jonathan quietly took on more of the workload while Drew pushed through, terrified of what was happening. Finally, after months of uncertainty, doctors found the cause: mercury poisoning combined with chronic fatigue syndrome. It was frightening. Untreated, it could have been fatal. Drew stepped back from filming, underwent detox treatments, and radically changed his lifestyle to recover. He also began sharing his journey openly, urging fans to take burnout and strange symptoms seriously. While battling illness, Drew had one constant source of strength: Linda Fan, a creative woman he met in Los Angeles. Their relationship was built on respect and shared dreams. After 8 years together, they married in Italy in 2018. From the beginning, they dreamed of children. When they built their Los Angeles home in 2017, they planned nurseries, imagining the sound of little feet running through the halls. But reality was far harder. Month after month brought disappointment. Linda's Graves' disease and autoimmune thyroid disorder made natural conception difficult. They turned to IUI and eventually IVF, enduring countless doctor visits, tests, and emotional roller coasters. For Drew, who was still recovering, watching Linda go through the procedures was heartbreaking. But together, they refused to give up. In late 2021, they finally received the news they had been praying for. In May 2022, their son, Parker James Scott, was born. Drew wrote, "Our lives are forever changed. Welcome to the world, Parker James." 2 years later, in 2024, their daughter Piper Ray arrived, completing their family after years of waiting. By the mid-2020s, the Scott brothers were global icons, with a combined net worth exceeding $200 million. But even fame has cracks. In 2021, a Las Vegas couple, Paul and Mindy King, filed a lawsuit against Cineflix, the production company behind Property Brothers, after a $200,000 renovation allegedly left their home in terrible condition: sewage leaks, broken plumbing, and mold. Drew and Jonathan weren't named in the suit, but headlines tied them to it, showing how quickly public trust can turn. Meanwhile, Jonathan faced personal heartbreak: a difficult divorce years earlier, followed by the loss of both beloved dogs, Stewie in 2022 and Gracie in 2023-2024. Drew stood by him just as Jonathan had during his illness. Then came another shock. In 2022, the brothers filmed with actor Leslie Jordan for Celebrity IOU. Just weeks later, Jordan tragically passed away. The loss hit them deeply. Through lawsuits, grief, illness, and relentless pressure, Drew learned that fame offers no shield from pain. Drew Scott's story is one of triumph, wrapped in tragedy. Behind the beautiful homes and HGTV smiles lies a man who survived debt, illness, infertility, and the weight of fame, and still found joy on the other side. Through resilience, love, and sheer determination, he built not just an empire, but a family and a legacy. So, what do you think of Drew's incredible journey? Does it surprise you to learn what he endured away from the spotlight? Tell us your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more powerful stories of the stars you thought you knew.